Man, let me holler at y'all for a minute. We're gonna do like a little drive home, and I'm gonna rant to y'all a little bit. So again, this is gonna be speaking on the whole. Again, if I'm saying your name wrong, sir, I apologize. Is it Raja Jackson, Rampage's son? Now, how I was raised was, if you mind your own business, pretty much nothing will become, you'll be fine if you mind your own business. So in a sense that young man was minding his own business when he went in the back of that meeting. He was minding his own business. He was just talking to people, minding his own business. Well, Syko Stu decides, oh, well, this is a game, this is a show. He picks up a beer can, smashes it on this young man's head, and now we have ourselves a situation because Stu didn't realize that this was not a show. He must have saw the cameras and thought, hey, we're rolling. Which I commend him, I guess, in a sense of, you're always ready, in a sense that you're always ready to work, but you need to know when to turn that off. You need to be sat down after this whole situation and know when to turn that off, because you assaulted that young man first. And does that give this young man the right to just pummel you inside that ring as he did? No. But you assaulted that young man first. So I hope that both of these gentlemen, along with that young man's dad, is able to sit down and come up with some sort of resolution to where his son don't go to jail. Maybe he go and seek some counseling for his anger, because I think a lot of that anger was exposed in that situation. And I also think that, Syko Stu shouldn't get away with that either, because you just don't walk up to people and smash beer cans over their head, sir. Whether you military or not, that don't matter. You cannot go around smashing beer cans on people's heads because you think this is some sort of a show or a game or something like that. Let this be a lesson to you as well. So, again, I understand that Raja is getting a lot of blowback from this, but two wrongs were done here. So don't let it be twisted. Two wrongs were done here, because if that Syko Stu never smashed that beer can upside Raja's head, none of this would have happened. Again, does that take away from the fact that Raja has a little bit of a temper issue? Oh, most definitely. I think being a fighter in general, you have to have that sort of temperament. You just need to know when to turn it on and off. And I do feel for that young man, because I do understand where he's coming from. He was assaulted. Again, I don't understand why people are not speaking more on the assault side of what happened to him. He was assaulted on his YouTube platform, I guess. That was all being taped on his platform. He got assaulted. So no one's talking about that. It's all the blowback on what he did next, which, again, what he did next was not the right thing to do. But let's just be totally honest. Based off of what happened, that's a reasonable response to somebody being hit in the face with a can. You understand what I'm saying? Now, there's this whole situation where they'll say, well, the people were saying, well, the whole situation was squashed. And yeah, he did make it seem like that situation was squashed, which was probably wrong. But at the same time, we are talking about a young man. Okay, this is a young man who's probably trying to fill his dad's shoes, which Rampage is a monster all on his own. Those are some big shoes to be filled, if this is what indeed is happening. Okay, that's some big shoes to fill. Okay, so his son, if that's what he's trying to do, he's this is the response that we expect. So if I had advice for the young man, I would say, coming from an old head, don't allow somebody to knock you off your game. That's happened to me multiple times. It just recently happened to me. Don't allow it to happen to you, okay? Just suppress your anger enough to get out of the spotlight. what goes on behind closed doors, hey, goes on behind closed doors. But while you're in that spotlight, make sure you maintain your composure. All right, so yeah, man, that's all I got to say on that situation. Is we shouldn't just be throwing stones at Mr. Jackson's little young one. We shouldn't be doing that. We should also be throwing stones at Syko Stu. You got to know when to turn that off, man. You're not at work all the time. Like, can you imagine walking in Detroit, Michigan, and part of one of the dirty sides, taking a beer can and smashing it on somebody's head? You're not walking back out of there. It's not gonna happen. So you definitely need to understand where work ends and where your personal life begins. That's the advice that I will give to you.